I don't remember. Where did you grow up?
Oh, there's a question as to whether I've grown up. So
Yeah, well, there you go.
issue.
I know that we've had conversations before about your ribs.
I make an old family formula that I read in a book by, I don't remember his first name, Schlesinger.
Yep.
And he calls them 3-hour or a 6-pack of beer ribs. And you put them in at 250
Thank you.
in the oven after putting the dry rub on. And you let them cook for 3 hours. You don't touch them. And by the end of 3 hours, they're done. And then if you're nice, you take a vinegar and Worcestershire sauce and you finish them on the grill. Yeah.
And how are they? Are they your favorite?
They are
Thank you,
fantastic. Thank you, Jalen. They are very good. I had them last about 2 months ago. My oldest son has taken up making them.
Well, there you go. Does he do them as good as you?
No. I think, first of all, he didn't buy baby back, he bought just spare ribs.
Yep.
And second of all, he didn't make his own rub, he bought the rub.
Ah.
But the thought was good.
Well, there you go. Now,
I like them smaller and sharper.
there is another time where you brought me some black garlic.
Some years ago, I was visiting the same son when he lived with his wife in London. And we went to a local produce market and they sold garlic by the, I don't know what you call it.
The stock.
And it was all fresh garlic that person had grown. I came back to the United States and started growing my own garlic. And you have to be really interested in doing it if you're going to do it right.
Yeah.
And so when we sold our house upstate, I had garlic that wasn't yet ready to be pulled.
Yep.
And the closing date was 2 months before it was going to be ready to pull. So the lawyer nearly lost his cookies when I said to him, could you put in the sales contract that I have the right to return and take my garlic? And you got part of that. That was the last mother load.
Oh man, it was so good. Did you see what we got here? We have some Grey Wind pastries. Have you had that Grey Wind toffee corn before?
Yes.
I think that's good. Did you see that they're working on some, we get the benefit of trying the testers from the bakery. They're working on peeps
Is that
for
a
Easters.
warped person's idea of an animal?
This is a warped peep. But you know, the best thing about the mistakes is that it doesn't matter what they look like, they taste really good. You know what it tastes like? Easter. I don't remember, where did you grow up?
Oh, there's a question as to whether I've grown up. So
Yeah, well, there you go.
Issue. Mostly in New York State. We just came from a meeting in which the gentleman indicated he was a physician, his father was a physician, his grandfather was a physician. So all I can say is both of my grandparents were farmers. During World War II, I spent most of the time in upstate New York on a farm. Mm-hmm. We came back to New York City and saved for a 2-year side trip to California. I've lived in New York all that time. My internship and residency in Philadelphia, and the first morning I went to breakfast, they had scrambled eggs and something they called scrapple.
Uh-huh.
And I made the mistake of asking what scrapple was. Mm-hmm. And it took me about 6 months before I would try it again. I think the first part of the food tells you what it's like. It's scrap.
Yeah.
And God knows which piece of
And
the
there's no
apple
apple involved, it's just scrap.
And then in Boston, of course, there's lobster.
Yep.
And Boston cream pie, which I did have there.
Did you ever go to Mike's Bakery? Mike's
No.
Pastry in Boston?
No.
Oh, it's one of the oldest bake shops or bakeries in Boston.
Oh, a place to go and get old bread. Wonderful.
Yeah. No, but definitely the classic Boston cream pies.
No.
Mike's Pastry.
No. We were relatively financially constrained.
Yeah.
And so unless it was around the corner, we didn't do much.
Well, there you go. Where did you go to school?
I went to college at Washington and Jefferson, which is in Western Pennsylvania.
Yep.
And I went to medical school at Columbia.
At Columbia. And what do you think since you've spent probably the majority of your time in New York State, when you say?
I think the part that many people in the city don't get to experience is the variety that's available within the state.
Mm-hmm.
We lived in New York City from 81 on, but we had a country home in Columbia County from 89 on. And it was like living in two different worlds. And when we went upper state, you go into each individual community and it's different.
Yeah.
So you can experience a dozen or more individual communities that are different.
Didn't you have, wasn't there a story that you told me about,
Likely.
was it France?
France.
Maybe? That you had an amazing dinner in France?
Amazing dinner. I had many amazing dinners in France. I'm not sure which one.
There was an intimate sort of.
Oh, La Serres?
I think so.
The kids were maybe 6 and 8. So this was figure 1974,
Okay.
mid-70s.
Yeah.
And we had gone to Europe to show the children around a little bit. And we put together a trip. We stayed at a little nondescript place in Paris, but we asked what the best dinner was, and it was a restaurant called La Serres. And so we got a babysitter, we went to La Serres, and we're sitting there, and I look at the menu and I look at the prices and I go, I hope they take credit cards. And the answer was they did not take credit cards. And I'm looking around and everybody's paying with cash. And I go to Judith, I hope they take American Express because that's all we have. And with that, the ceiling opens up. It was a time when people smoked and the room was full of smoke. And to air it out, they just opened the ceiling. That was pretty impressive. The food was very good. So finally, the gentleman came over with the bill, and I said, I do not have enough francs. Do you take American Express checks? And he said, but of course, monsieur.
Would you like to try one?
No. Must I?
It's very sugary. Are you into it? You gotta eat the whole thing.
What is this made out of?
Marshmallow.
Marshmallow.
It's a peep. What do you think?
Tips to your palate.
You can put it back.
Thank you.
You can double dip. I'm not going to eat anymore anyway. Well,
Tastes like tasteless goo.
tasteless goo. That's typically what I go for.
From Kalamazoo.
That's a Dr. Seuss rhyme. My goal when creating a dish is to get somebody to say tasteless goo. That's the goal. But listen, I really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me and letting me crash your party. It's very good to run into you. I appreciate you. Salud.
Salud.